Hey YouTubers, this is Demon091, and again bringing you part 2.5 of the second and Five Nights at Freddy's review. Now, where did I leave off? Oh yeah. I was talking about Five Nights 2. Oh, now on to Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Now, Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is a more complicated in scenario, as we're sent 30 years into the future after Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and where they've turned Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria into Fazbear's Fright, the horror attraction. And which basically makes Five Nights at Freddy's is officially a horror game, especially with the new characters, or character, Springtrap, or as some like to call him, Withered Bonnie. Now, there are some things I can say about this, and some things I can't, because I'm not quite that sure about it. But the one thing I can say for sure is that Springtrap undoubtedly is either the pink guy or the purple guy, and from the first two games. And my proof for that is type in the name Springtrap Five Nights at Freddy's on Google Images or Bing, Yahoo, whatever, or search engine you use. Look at the images, the official images, I guess I should have said. And some of the images and teaser trailer images for Five Nights 3 show Springtrap with the mouth of his mask open, and underneath the teeth you can see a purplish pink skin, and that's shriveled up. Now, on some of the jump scares you get with Springtrap in the game, his mouth is either closed or sometimes open, and revealing that the purple guy or pink guy is actually inside the suit. Now, the reason why I say this is because of the mini games in the nights. Night 5 especially shows purple guy getting haunted by the souls of the children that he's supposedly murdered, as they chase him towards the back room, which we all know in the first two games is boarded up. Where we see a golden Bonnie in the animatronic suit, or as Phone Guy, he tells us, it could be in a spring lock Bonnie suit. And like the reverse Venus flytrap, reverse bear trap in the Saw movies, once purple guy stepped into the Springtrap suit, he was killed almost instantly. That just brings up a very interesting question. Why is Springtrap after you in the third game, and when he should be going after the ones that killed him? Again, I can't really say. As for the other jump scares, they're mostly hallucinations, because as the first Phone Guy in the third game says, is if you allow your ventilation to deteriorate, it can lead to some very frightful mirages. And they usually take the form of the following: Balloon Boy, Chica, Freddy or Golden Freddy, a Mangle, and the Puppet. surprisingly enough, there's no Foxy jump scare. Which I find incredibly odd though, because we do see Foxy in the game. He's just used as a decoration or as a lamp. Now, of all the theories that's been going on, and with the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise that Scott still hasn't answered a lot of these questions about, is who really caused the bite of 87? Now, I'm going to take a few minutes to discuss what I think may have happened or who was the real culprit behind the bite. First things first, in the first game they say that the victim survived without their frontal lobe, meaning one of the animatronics must have bit down so hard that it took up the frontal part of their brain. Now, if we look at the animatronics closely in the first game, all of them, except for Foxy of course, have blunt or rounded teeth. Therefore, a lot of speculation and a lot of blame has been pointed to Foxy. Now, cut to the second game, which is supposed to be a prequel to Five Nights at Freddy's 1, the game has changed. Because we have the toy animatronics, their teeth are blunt. And if I know how dentistry is, as I think I do from looking at animal skulls, well, for science classes, blunt teeth are usually used for grinding and crushing. Pointed teeth are usually used for tearing, biting, and stabbing and methods. And the only animatronics in the second game that have sharp pointed teeth are old Chica, Foxy, and Mangle. Now, saying that, there is a theory going on that may have went over some people's heads in making them steer away from Foxy. Mangle could have caused the bite because of its torturous existence of being taken apart by bratty kids only to be put back together by employees used the following night. Again, in order to be torn apart the day after. Apparently, in this date of 1987, they don't really say when. Unless I'm mistaken, they do tell you in the second game's check. Mangle could have short-circuited and basically it did sympathy. Like, I've had enough of the abuse. There's only one way I'm getting out of it, and it's, man, for the jump scare we get from Mangle, it's possible. Because look at any video that has Mangle attacking you. Oh, he doesn't attack you like the other animatronics. He attacks you upside down. Seeing as he is hanging from the ceiling, and he can easily swing down and take a chunk out of your frontal lobe. Then there is the possibility of it being Chica. Because when we see whether Chica, when she comes up and jump scares us, the lower jaw is about that far apart from the rest of the head. For Five Nights at Freddy's 3, there's no explanation. But with the teaser images for Five Nights at Freddy's 4, we're getting very close to figuring out who it is. Because the original animatronics, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and maybe Foxy, have the teeth capable of taking a chunk out of something. Freddy's, his mouth is full of sharp-pointed teeth, as well as the mini Freddy's that are supposedly chewing out of him, according to the image. Then we look at Nightmare Bonnie. He has 2 rows of teeth, equally as sharp, and also has pointed fingers, which might be just from the endoskeleton, it being exposed. Then cut to Nightmare Chica and her Nightmare Cupcake. Chica so far has the most rows of teeth I've seen in an animatronic character. Now, while Freddy probably has only 1 row and Bonnie has 2, Chica, we can see from the image, has 3, which is somewhat impossible. Because, now put it this way, what animal in history do we know about that has that many rows of teeth? A shark. Or mostly because they're constantly regenerating teeth. They're being lost. But with Chica's teeth, the best way I can describe them is they've got to be at least as long as your finger. Chica has no more beak, and 1 eye missing, and the teeth, or the rows of teeth, I guess, seem to be getting smaller and smaller as they go in. Now, is it possible that Chica may have caused the bite? We don't know. I cannot wait to see the image for Nightmare Foxy. And I've heard 8-Bit Gaming, Smite, Daco, those guys say what they believe might be coming up next in terms of Foxy. This is basically what I think and Foxy is going to end up looking like. Foxy is going to end up looking more wolf-like than a fox, which would stray away from his namesake, make him original design. But instead of having just 1 hook, you can have up to, you can actually have like a Freddy Krueger hand. You know what I mean, right? The weighted claws. Or something like that. Because let's face it, in the original game, Foxy already kind of looked withered. Second game, just as withered. Third game, all that we see of him really is just his head being used as a light. But there are some animatronics I'm still trying to figure out where on earth did they come from? What purpose do they have to the story? Mostly Balloon Boy and the Puppet. Now, I've listened to Mr. Creepypasta's Five Nights at Freddy's Hidden Lore series, and I think I can piece something together. One of the mini games in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is the game Give Cake, Give Life. If before you get a jump scare, if there's actually 5 kids that have been murdered in Freddy Fazbear's, the 5th one would happen to be the puppet. Now, in the Hidden War story, the good old days, a kid who's kind of being a little bit of a brat gets kind of abducted by someone and dressed in a golden Freddy suit, and turned into the puppet. Yeah, only to keep this new character asleep by playing the music box. And as we all know from playing the game, if the music box ever goes out, the puppet will rise from his gift box and attack the player. Not without the toreador, or his march playing. Now, about the puppet, there are so many theories about him. We don't know exactly how he came to be, where did he come from, what's his purpose, other than to cause more chaos. As in the second game. There are speculations that the puppet may have been in control the entire time. And especially after one of the cutscenes in Five Nights 2, where you're looking through the eyes of Freddy, Bonnie and Chica are on either side of you, and in your face is the puppet just staring you down, no matter what direction you go. As for Balloon Boy, I have no clue what are the theories about him. He's obviously got to be like some sort of figurine or statue or something, because he's not officially an animatronic. There's no animatronic endoskeleton short enough for him. If you don't believe me, look at my video titled WTF, What Is That Behind the Puppet? Or Behind the Mangle, or whatever it is. Is where my sister Elaine and I are playing the second game, and all of a sudden this weird robot skeleton pops up out of the puppet's gift box. And then it sounded like I did it. And there was a lot of speculation about that one. It could be an Easter egg, I'm not entirely sure. But based on the appearance and design, it can't be a Freddy endoskeleton, it can't be a Bonnie skeleton, obviously cannot be the puppets, because that thing's too thin and for an endoskeleton to fit inside of. It's too tall for Balloon Boy. And then again, it could be a Foxy, the endoskeleton. But looking closely, the ears are placed wrong on the vent. Because, well, like most dogs, their ears are pointing upward. Right. While this endoskeleton's ears are kind of like down here and pointing from the side, meaning this is either a cow or a sheep. Animatronic that we'll never get to see. As well as the Easter egg and supposed animatronic Sparky the dog, like in the first game. Now, I've been doing a little research to find out more about the Five Nights at Freddy's confirmed movie, And I don't know if this is true or not, but I found something saying that it might be coming out in 2017. In It might be live action, it might be animated, I'm not quite sure, but I know it's got to be something around the following genres: suspense, thriller, mystery, and horror. Or three of those are obvious because of the gameplay. And you might be wondering, why do you say mystery then? Well, because of the whole mystery of who done it, who's the cause of the Vietnam 1987, who was responsible for the murders. Are the animatronics actually possessed by something? If so, is it the puppet? Is it the souls of the murdered children trying to get back at their killer? But I did find something kind of odd. One of the Hulks saying that it would be coming out this year, about a couple of years ago, have the following voice actors in it: Tom Kenny, Tara Strong, D. Bradley Baker, and John DiMaggio. Now, if this is true, for this confirmed film, I can make a few predictions of who's going to voice what animatronic character. Tom Kenny is either going to voice Bonnie and Foxy. Tara Strong for sure is probably going to end up voicing Chica and Balloon Boy, because she's done little kid characters like Timmy Turner and Oni. John DiMaggio I can see doing and Freddy or Foxy. As for D. Bradley Baker, you probably end up doing something like the puppet. Seeing as I think he did the voice of Ghost Freak in Ben 10. Well, anyway, that's it for this conclusion of Five Nights at Freddy. Is 1, 2, and 3. Now, I will be giving a review of the fourth game after Halloween. That is, once I've played it enough to understand. And then watched a little bit of Markiplier's walkthrough of it. Anyway, stay tuned next month as I try to do the dinosaur and prehistoric creature list again. And if you have a certain dinosaur or prehistoric animal you want me to talk about or mention in the list, just send it to my Gmail account, mpjfox@gmail.com, or comment into my channel on the discussion board. Or I still am going by my 3 rules. Well, no prehistoric human, and they have to be between the Triassic period and the Ice Age, and they have to be, or have been, a real species. No King Kong species or false dinosaurs. And I'll know if they're real or not. But I am going to go easy on one exception. And if anybody tries to suggest it, that one being the Indominus Rex. because I've done a little research on it so far, and I might be talking about that one. Just because of how interesting it is to me. So, cool. Once again, subscribe to my channel on Demon0981, and like this video if you enjoyed it, and see my other videos on my channel on YouTube, or been Facebook. Let me if you have any requests for future videos. I am willing to suggestions, and leave a comment, and subscribe if you're a fan and want to see what else I've been doing. Other than that, I will see you in the next video.